the United States is officially in trouble. We are now going to struggle, according to many experts, because we have lost all power. This is a big problem, especially when we're coming up on a massive election, especially when we have wars going on in Ukraine with Russia and between Israel and Hamas, and obviously we got other conflicts as well. But the United States losing power is a problem. I'm going to address why experts are calling this a massive issue right now, and it has nothing to do with China, has nothing to do with Russia, but another country just south of the United States. So I'm going to address what's going on here. All I ask is one thing, takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now let's begin. So how has the United States lost all power? Well, it's actually pretty simple. Right now, Congress is trying to pass a bill to secure our U.S. southern border. Well, that's turning into an issue because they're asking for additional funding. This is what Secretary Mayorkas has asked for. This is what the Mexican president has asked for. This is what President Biden has even asked for. More funding for the U.S. border. Now, Mexico knows the United States has many issues. Well, this is what Mexico is asking for at this time. The Mexican president, he's demanding $20 billion for Mexico and Central American countries, countries, and work permits for 10 million Hispanics in exchange for immigration help. Mexico knows President Biden does not have a lot of options. He's run out of options. He does not have the backing of Congress at this time. So what the president of Mexico is asking for, $20 billion, which is going to be, well, it's going to go a long ways in Mexico and for some of these other countries. But what it's not going to do is it's not going to be easy to pass in our divided Congress. And this is turning it into a massive issue. But at the same time, President Biden and the United States has asked Mexico for their help. Well, Mexico obliged, and they helped in some ways. First, they cleaned up certain migrant camps along the southern border. This moved people further south, so away from the U.S.-Mexico border, which helped out, which lowered the number of illegal immigrants coming into the United States. But something else they did, and this turned into a big issue because this is something that many migrants coming through Mexico, they are upset with now. Look at this. It says a migrant caravan regroups in Mexico after government promise of papers falls through. So what essentially happened here, and I'm going to read you this really quick, okay? Because this, again, is important. Because Mexico said they would help out, but their help isn't going very far. Look at this. It says a caravan of about 2,000 migrants on Monday resumed their journey through southern Mexico after participants were left without the papers the Mexican government appeared to have promised. Said the original caravan of about 6,000 migrants from Venezuela, Cuba, and Central America had started walking on Christmas Eve. But after New Year's Day, the government persuaded them to give up their march, promising they would get some kind of unspecified documents. Said the migrants were seeking transit or exit visas that might allow them to take buses or trains to the U.S. border, but they were given papers that don't allow them to leave the southern state of Chiapas on the Guatemalan border. And so that was the problem. Again, Mexico said they'd help out the United States. They essentially did, but now this migrant caravan, about 1,000 or 2,000 migrants, is heading back up to the U.S. border. Because even though they were slowed down and there was a slight delay, well, now they realize Mexico isn't doing what they told them, so now they're heading back up. Well, turning into an issue. And this is one of the reasons why some are saying that Congress getting closer to this border deal, well, immigration experts fear that it's going to be alarming and tragic consequences as a result of what is coming from this deal. Again, we bring this up all the time because Congress is going to try to pass a bill because they have to pass a bill. Think about it. How many people are up for re-election this year? A lot. There's a lot of people up for re-election. Okay, in the House, the Senate, obviously the president as well. Because of this, they have to do something to show the American people and their constituents that they have their back. They have their best interests at heart. Well, it's a problem because even though some are trying to show they're willing to do all this work, there's really nothing happening. And especially when we look at Secretary Mayorkas. Look at this, for example. Because he's threatened with impeachment, Mayorkas is defending the record at the border. Okay, you know what he's doing? He's saying it's not him. It's not Mayorkas. No, what he's saying is he's blaming Mexico and Congress for this historic border surge, and he's calling for more funding and additional reform. Says Mexico also blamed historic surges in December on a lack of funding for the Immigration Enforcement Agency in Mexico. All right. So again, he's pushing it all onto other people. Now, I want to show you this as well. Because Mayorkas tells Border Patrol agents that above 85% of illegal immigrants are released into the United States. How crazy is that? Okay? That is crazy. I want to read you a little bit of this. All right? Look at this right here. So it says, I'll read you this one. It says, "It would not surprise me at all. I know the data. And I will tell you that when individuals are released, they are released into immigration enforcement proceedings. They are on alternatives to detention, and we have returned or removed a record number of individuals. We are enforcing the laws that Congress has passed." Now, says Fox is told that on Monday, agents pushed him on those remarks, saying that the number is even higher than 70%. And then Mayorkas acknowledged a release rate of above 85%. 85% are released back into the United States. That is, and this is where Republicans are having a tough time with this, because is he actually abiding by the laws that Congress has put in place? No. Is he bending the rules? Yes. This is happening. It has been happening for quite some time. But this is why experts are saying that the United States has lost this battle. Because the United States, at this time, with the divided Congress and a Democratic president who pretty much set the United States up for failure, okay? Because by him removing all these different laws and putting his agenda into place on day one of being in office, that's when everything really started to turn. Now, the one thing I can tell you is the American people are not going to forget. And I bring this up because I was talking to somebody just the other day. I was talking to somebody locally, and they were saying that they are now seeing more people from Guatemala and from Venezuela here in Washington State. And what they thought was interesting is when they went down, because I saw this person over at a Goodwill, but when they were at the Goodwill, they went to a nearby food kitchen, whatever, and they were trying to get some food. Well, here's the problem. The food place was saying that they don't have enough food like they used to, because now they're seeing a surge of people coming in from other states and other countries. And because of that, they're having to ration this food. So not only are certain people being impacted because others are coming in, but now we are having to ration our food in order to obviously make enough boxes for all these families coming in. So, and I'm not saying we can't help these people. We can. But others are going to be impacted as well. And this is where experts are saying that we are about to feel the impact very soon. Hasn't happened yet, which is scary. Because if you look at states like New York, or cities like New York and Chicago, even Denver, they are being overwhelmed. They do not have enough resources. So at this time, just understand, Mexico, according to experts, they hold all the power. because they are pretty sure that Congress will not be able to pass a bill that will be significant enough to eliminate all the people coming into the United States. So, the U.S. and President Biden are going to have to rely on Mexico in order to help us out. So, we'll see what happens moving forward. All I can tell you is I will be here every step of the way. I'll fill you in on all the latest news and updates, but that is what we know as of today. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.